Jobly, the accidental author. I'm very excited, as I always am, because a new author. I've got a new author with me right now, someone who's a wonderful, inspiring lady who's just published her first book. She's actually got some other products that she's produced, but her first book. So please help me welcome Monica Finazzo. Monica, hello.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me here.
It's absolute pleasure. Thank you for being here. Before we get her telling her wonderful story, Monica has, and she'll talk a little bit about what she does, but she works in the spiritual realm, and she's a healer and does a lot of wonderful readings and a lot of amazing things. And she's just published her first book called Living in a Bane, and very exciting, but she's also published some oracle cards last year that have done exceptionally well. So, Monica, congratulations on your first book.
Thank you very much. It's definitely a dream come true.
So let's have a look at your book.
Oh, this is the book. So I have specifically chosen things for that represent what it's inside. So there is the DNA helicoid in here. There is some cells in here. There is a cell, and there is a kid climbing a ladder, which is what we do when we evolve. And throughout our life, we kind of keep climbing ladders.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So clearly the book is about helping people create long-term change within themselves and in their DNA, and helping them climb that, I guess, that ladder to happiness, fulfillment, spiritual enlightenment. Have I got it right?
Yes, yes. Well, I don't think we ever, spiritual enlightenment, it's something that happens progressively. It's not something that happens at once. It might be for people that spends and goes through a lot of meditative time and a lot of isolation. However, for us, the people that it's normal, that tries to live a normal life, it happens in steps. And we have this awakening through our life and at certain times of our life. If I rather like to call it a practice rather than something that it's actually going to happen. Like yoga, it's a practice. Meditation, it's a practice. Transforming your DNA consciously is a practice. And that is what the main idea of the book is. It's to give people exercises on how they can be in charge of what's happening in their body and in their lives.
Wonderful. Well, that sounds like a book everyone needs to have. The title of your book is Life in a Bean. Tell us about, where did that come from? How did you come up with that name?
When I was writing the book, I realized that everything in this world, it's alive. The air, it's full of life. The dirt, it's full of life. Inside of us, it's full of life. There is so much bacteria, there is so much good bacteria, and there is so many emotions and things living within us. So I realized that there is life within life within life. It's a spiral of living things, from the biggest things in the universe to the smallest particle in the universe. Everything is alive within another life. And ourselves are living things inside of us. So we can reprogram, like the book is called Transforming Your DNA Consciously. We can have a conversation with that is living within us, as well as with the being that we live in.
Wonderful. And I tell you what, if anyone's full of life, it's you. So before we get specifically into the book, Monica, tell us a bit about what you do day to day, because you do a lot of work with one-on-one with people. Tell us about some of the work you do with people.
So I started 20 years ago to do tarot readings. And tarot readings, more than being a tool to tell you the future, I use it as a tool of counseling and a tool of opening up a person's souls and desires. Sometimes when we sit with a counselor or when we sit with someone that is trying to help us, it is hard for us to tap into what is really happening and open up our heart And so my clients don't need to do that. They sit there and listen rather than talking. From a complete stranger, I just tell them what is happening in their life, what it's affecting their progress, and how to fix it. And so I have a lot of success doing tarot readings. Yes, at times I have been able to see the future. I have clients that have been with me for about 15 years, if no more. And they keep coming to me because they have found benefits on the readings. But after I was in the corporate world, and after that, I had babies, I started a family, and I decided to go in this realm full time. And I started training as an energy healer. I like more the word as a therapist. I assist people on creating their own healing. We are all healers. And I started training in Reiki. I started training in hypnotherapy. I started training in past lives. And all that training on hypnosis, past life, angel therapy, counseling, mental health that I did have all been combined in the book.
Wonderful.
Because it has tools and techniques that I have learned through my whole training to be able to tap into your subconscious.
Wonderful. So why write a book? What inspired you to write a book? What was the thing that you thought, yes, this needs to be written? What's the goal? What's the big picture for your book?
Well, unlike many other authors out there, I guess, I feel guidance, and I have this, you can say, angel that keeps, talking to me. And at one stage, I just could clearly see in my mind's eye this guy with a blackboard just teaching me all these things. And he said, you need to put this in writing and this, and teaching me all these equations and all this science. And I will be like, oh my God, I'm going crazy. This is insane. So then I will go and do my research and confirm that the information I got was actually accurate. And it took many years of that, many years of that. And then I started writing. And I started getting into the computer and started writing in a book first by hand. Then I started getting in the computer, started writing in the computer, and it was all a mess. And then I met you, and we brought it all together, and you guide me on how to create this.
A book.
So a book. So it's basically a combination of guided learnings.
Okay. So now, Monica, let me ask you this. Now, you're talking to someone who's pretty clueless in this sort of area. I don't know much. Now, if I read this book, what would I get out of it? What would be for me? What would be the thing that you would feel that I would benefit most from the book?
A lot of us are conditioned by our family and our heritage. My heritage is Italian. I was born in Venezuela and I live in Australia. I married an Australian whose parents are English and Malayan. So there is all these cultures coming into my household. And so we understand what our cellular memory is and where we come from, but we don't blame genetics into what is happening in our life. Yes, we get the colors of the eyes of our grandmother. We get the skin colors of our father, or, maybe the pain in the fingers that my mom gets. But that doesn't have to be the case. So when we stop blaming genetics to whatever is happening to us, we start taking responsibility. And we go, wow, if I act the same way that my parents act, if I did exactly the same that they did, yes, I'm definitely going to have the pains, the aches, the money issues, or maybe the emotions. A lot of people, unfortunately, has mental health in the family. And so we believe, oh, I have depression because my mom had depression and my grandfather had depression. And it's like, that's not the case. So genetic has a part in us, but a very little. So science calls 75% of our DNA junk DNA. And I believe that it's filled with information that has been happening since the Big Bang. I am a full believer of evolution. And so we have all this information in ourselves and we can tap into whatever we want. Just like the division between the subconscious and the conscious, it's exactly the same. So yes, we have all this information in our subconscious, but I consciously decide what I bring up into my conscious. And it's just letting people know that and giving people the power to change what is happening in their life, physically, emotionally, spiritually. So you will start realizing that, wow, I am in charge and I have been in charge all the time. You have the remote control of your life and you don't have to be in autopilot. So that is what you will get. If you
That sounds amazing. So everyone needs to buy this book. My gosh, that's wonderful. So tell me now, Monica, what are your plans? What do you want to do now that you're an author? And, I know you've got more plans to write, to do more cards and to do more books. But what do you see for yourself? I mean, you're doing amazing stuff. Where do you see the book being able to take you?
I really like mass education. That is my life mission. That is what I was born for. And well, I was born for many things, but my life mission in a bigger scale, it's to educate a lot of people. And what I want to do is just to do public speaking, to be in places telling people how they can be in charge of their life, giving people the power back. I want meaningful education. And I believe that one of the biggest issues we have in the earth right now is lack of education. And I am all up for educating people in many subjects.
Yeah.
However, the subject of giving people back the charge of their life, giving people back their power, letting people know that when we change and we transform, everything else will change and transform. It's a ripple effect that goes through many, many, many people and many generations to come. That it's my vision for my future, for sure. And I want to do it all around the world too.
That's wonderful. So, I mean, look, I think I'm going to just ask you one sort of specific question, and then if anyone else wants more information, they need to buy the book. But I mean, I think we all want to change, right? I think there are most people in the world want to make some sort of change. They want to be healthier. They want to have better relationships. They want to make more money. They want, if you were to ask most people, they'd say there are things in their life they're not happy with that they wish they could change. But there are so few people that actually go forward and create that change. So what would be your advice to people that are watching this that want to change? What's the first step they should take?
I think the most important thing when you are trying to create changes in your life, it's to just take the pressure off yourself, because changing is progressive and we want those changes to last. So when we make abrupt changes, then they often no long lasting. If I'm gonna take on a new diet, I'm gonna make small changes to make that a lifestyle. If one of my clients wants to stop smoking, lose weight, include exercise and start meditation, we're not gonna start everything at the same time because that might be overwhelming. Remembering that it's a practice and just adding one thing at a time that fits with your life and that makes you happy. Stop putting any pressure and believing that everything has to be done straight away. If you're making those changes, it takes you 10 years, that it's fine, but you must start somewhere. So making small changes towards your end goal and never forget what the end goal is, but enjoy the journey.
Wonderful. So I know there are people going, okay, I want to buy the book. I want to buy the book. So how do they buy the book?
They can buy the book on my webpage, which is theenchantress.com. They can also buy the book on Amazon. There is a Kindle version as well in Amazon. They can buy the book on eBay. And if they are in Europe, I would strongly recommend to go to Austin Macaulay.
Yes.
If they are in the United States, I recommend to go to Amazon. And if they're here in Australia, I recommend to come to me in my webpage. So there are different places depending on where you are in the world. You can pick and choose.
Yeah, for sure. And if people would like to maybe talk to you or get you to speak or same, they just go to your website. Is that right?
My website, it's the best place.
Cool. Well, Monica, congratulations on
Thank
your new
you
book,
very much.
Living in a Bean. And I know it's going to be incredibly successful, and love your passion. You are very, very passionate about obviously what you do and wanting to help people live a better quality of life and understand the process of change is not that big a deal. So congratulations and thank you for speaking to me.
Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome. See you soon. Bye.